Good morning, Chavra. Today is Koyach Cheshvan, Chav Ches, the 20th day of the month of Cheshvan. A beautiful Wednesday morning. And today we're going to dedicate the Tanya learning in memory of Yonis and Mordechai Alav Shalom, Ben Yibadol Chaim Tovim, Meir Zelig. Should live and be well. That's father of Zalman should live and be well. And this is the yahrzeit of Zalman Miller's brother, the Shama Shevan Aliyah. Twin brother, I should say, right? Okay. We're on page 78 in the Chayenu, essay 2, and the overview is as follows. Kabbalistic explanation. Yesterday was amazing, right, La? We got two Larrys here. Whew. I don't know if I can handle it. The Kabbalistic explanation on why it is precisely action-based mitzvahs that cause an intimate connection and union face-to-face above. The reason being that only through a stimulus from below, the feminine can one arouse and elicit a downflow response, the masculine, resulting in unity, unification. And this must originate from below our world. So in this section, in this part of, we're getting to the conclusion of the Tanya Yutis Kislev, right? It's coming up in just over about 22 days. So 20, whatever it is. I'm not good at math. Math teachers here. I'm going to stay in my lane. Anyways, as we conclude, the Tanya Alter is going to explain some of the things that were mentioned earlier in the Tanya, and he's going to examine them and clarify some of them. So he says, the statement that we're going to examine, that she'ein hachazoras panim epanim ki'im al yidei mitzvos ma'aseh stavka. There's no turning face to face. Obviously, we say that in quotation marks because there's no face to face with Hashem, but it's so to speak, al yidei mitzvos ma'aseh stavka, through the mitzvahs which require action. So the text cited that was previously discussed, the stage of creation at which the bracket of these 6 spheres, known as Zeir Anpin, and the spheres of Malchus, were first emanated and revealed in the world of Atzilus, from Chochmah and Bina. Only after Adam was created and performed mitzvahs, effectively trimming back and hacking off the thorns, meaning limiting the nurture of the klippos, could the Zah and the Malchus be united face to face. Interesting. And the reason for this is because by means of good deeds, one brings about the supernal union, causing Zah and Malchus to turn face to face. Why does it have to be action-based mitzvahs? Why can't it be kavanah-based mitzvahs? Why can't it be thought-based mitzvahs, right? Why can't the same result be brought about by mitzvahs fulfilled by thought and speech? So it's understood. Sharman Umad. It's understood in the light of what's written in the Yisrael. Kitzarich Hila Lahalais, Kitzarich Hila Lahalais, Mayim Nukvin, the Nukva, the Zeir Anpin. That first, before the supernal union takes place, we were talking about Zah and Malchus. These are high spheres. That if Zah and Malchus had united face to face, there would be a tremendous effusion of divine energy from the innermost aspect of Zah to the innermost aspect of Malchus. So why do we have to have the action-based mitzvahs? Because first, there must be an elevation of Mayim Nukvin, an arousal initiated by the recipient, which ultimately is us and our world. From the Nukva, meaning the feminine element of Zah, Malchus. Mayim Nukvin, the Nukva, he mechinas asiyah. Veshikosav sham perek aleph. And the Mayim Nukvin of Nukva is the state of action, which is what? This world, through doing action-based mitzvahs. In other words, the action, the items of this world, the things of this world, whose source is the sphere of Malchus, which is the Nukva of Zah, must be elevated to the source in holiness. And this can be accomplished only through doing a mitzvah that requires action with items from this physical world. And this alone makes possible the supernal union, which reveals divinity within the world. However, how can it be assured that no part of this revelation will leak to the klippos, which are known as chitzonium? What if the evil gets a hold of these klippos? No good. The good deeds are described as trimming and hacking off the thistles, the thorns that attach themselves to the hind part. You ever walk through like those thorn bushes and it gets caught in your pants and your sweater? Like it's so frustrating. So what do we have to do? We have to the good deeds, the action-based mitzvahs are those that hack off these thistles that attach themselves to the hind part, the hinder part, the back of your pants. So it is the performance of specifically these mitzvahs that hacks away the klippos, which, like the unchecked roots of thistles or weeds in a vineyard, would otherwise encroach on the life-giving waters and divert them from the intended destination. You have weeds that get in the way of the plants, they're going to soak up all the energy and the flow of the water that's supposed to go to the good stuff. This pruning is affected by elevating the elements of good that's concealed in that, meaning in things of this world that are related to Asiya, that's enclosed in mitzvahs of action. The Mekoide, the Kedusha, Sa'atzilus, Shekvar, Huvrira, elevating this element of good to its source, to the sanctity of Atzilus that has already been refined. As to the statement that Adam affected rectification, tikkun, through prayer as well, yes, that's also important. But doesn't seem that it would be a mitzvah requiring action. This means he did so through uttering the letters of speech, meaning not through intent of prayer, not through the kavanah, but actually through movement of the lips that we consider deed, that we recently talked about. These utterances derive from the soul, the neshama, which is in a body, and blood, whose root and life force is in klipa. So when you're speaking, it's also a movement and it's also an action. You're moving your lips, your tongue, it's coming from your throat, from within you. Let's get much more clear. So the act of refining of Asiya, these are accomplished through practical mitzvahs ascended to Yitzira, from us to Yitzira, and then to Bria, and Atzilus going up the chain. So I like how we included also the prayer. We included davening in this action-based mitzvahs that we have to do in order to elicit the flow, the blessing and everything else, and the connection between Zah and Ma and Zah. Just make sure I said it right. Zah and Malchus, and doing the action-based mitzvahs clears the path. That unless Ma'im Nukvin is elevated from the Malachim, the king of Noiga, it's impossible to draw forth the drops from above to affect the union of Zah, to bring the Zah and Malchus together. The Zah desires to seek its nurture from its quote-unquote mother, meaning the sphere of Bina, rather than giving forth for the lower realms. It is only through the elevation of Ma'im Nukvin of Neiga that a higher degree of illumination is drawn down within Zah, causing it to desire to unite with the sphere of beneath it, Malchus. Let's at least, we get a general concept, but these are very, very, this is deep Kabbalah stuff. So just as there's a mode of verbalization in davening, And so there's a mode of davening with kavana by means of which one meditates and attains infinite heights as one gazes upon the glory of Hashem. Obviously, we're going to include kavana is also important and powerful, and we need that. In a kavanos, kavanos hatfilah v'yichudim el yodim liyodim esigim istalko. We also have intention during davening, the kavana, which brings about supernal unions. For those that know that, for those who know and understand and know how to gaze, again, you can gaze with your eyes closed. This is very, very deep. So such individuals can have an impact on this world through their unarticulated intentions alone. We talked about doing ma'isa mitzvahs. We could also include prayer in that. And then some people are able to create actions through their thoughts as well. Okay, maybe we're not on that level yet. So for these people, their nefesh, neshama themselves constitute an arousal initiated by the recipient, which is known as mayim nukvin, through their self-sacrifice and their devotion for the Torah. And during the Tachnan prayers, which we say to you, God, I lift my soul, as is known. We say the Tachnan. So this ability, however, remains only for a select few. Okay. The overwhelming majority of Jews accomplish this elevation through the mitzvahs of action-based mitzvahs. Some Kabbalist holy Jews that are able to do action through their thoughts are able to reach this high level. Generally speaking, we have to take a physical mitzvah, we have to take the tefillin, put it on our arms, put the talis on, light the Shabbos candles, the menorah is coming up also at the end of the month. Takeaway, Chevra, is performing action-based mitzvahs opens the way for an intimate face-to-face connection with Hashem. It's the feminine stimulus from below which arouses our partner above. Okay, a little deep today. Might get a little deeper as we go forward, but this is it. This is it. It is what it is. Shkayach. Shamav Yedis and Mordechai ben Olav Shalom ben Meir Zelig, Baruch Chaim Tevim. Should have an over.